There's also hints that the drowned god in those books is like literally Cthulhu. So a little different from your situation, but
Well, it is the Flumph game, so there had to be some kind of Cthulhu link somewhere.
Riot, you are given no opportunity to speak whatsoever.
That's probably for the best.
Lebis, when he comes out, descends from the sky at the base of the stairs of the temple, and his harem of 4 female Lamassu, flanking him on all sides, land next to him and take up reclining positions, while he stands very formally and very resolute. And he says that they have been in conference with Mitra and have been given a fraction of Mitra's infinite wisdom with which to fairly and lawfully judge the accused party. That is known to him as Kalivia, a true priest of Osprim. He recounts the events that led to this point, the freak ice storm that happened at the Lucky Lion. He gives a very detailed and very formal account of the honored dead and restitution having been, or not restitution, but charity having been given from the town of Heart's Faith, the citizens, to the families, and how all of the mountain aggrieves these losses. They then recount a great deal of information about the character of the accused, how she took part in the pillage and looting of this temple for the god that she now follows, but that this particular god draws strength from that. That this is a very peculiar form of law followed by seagoing parties on some prime material worlds. There's a lot of mumbling in the crowds about this. El Ciclon,
Hey,
do you wear your holy symbol of what's her name at all?
Amaterasu, yeah.
You do. She says at this time, Lebis says at this time, he will hear. Scratch that. Before that, he says, under no. It's beyond doubt that Kalivia did not commit these 4 murders. She was not the one who cast the spell. That the person who did is unknown to them. And, however, through this fraction of wisdom given him by his conference with Mitra, he believes very strongly that Riot was complicit in that her role was to keep the eyes of the noble Arakwheel Downwalker away long enough for her companions to trigger this malicious assault on Heart's Faith. So that while she stands not accused of the murder of these 4, fair justice will still be harsh. And at that point, he asks if any who would speak on behalf of Kalivia would step forward at this time and address the congregation.
And that's where Elsiglon steps up.
Okay? And you turn, and all of Heart's Faith is waiting with bated breath to hear what you have to say.
Kalivia, I don't really know her as Kalivia, but I know her by a different name. And that name is probably mud around here, and probably a lot of other places, but...
Doing a great job!
But I've seen that she is sincere in the faith that which she proclaims. I myself have been in hand with her, investing quite a bit of time, blood, sweat, and a little bit of money into expanding her faith into the city of Sigil. And Ciclon will then present the shield of the shield with the barracuda and the trident. Say
And
these
Riot.
objects.
You see Ciclon present these two artifacts that you've never seen before in your life.
Those are pretty good.
Go ahead.
These
Ciclon.
items were commissioned for use in her temple.
And as you're speaking, you see the four female Lamassu reclining on the steps behind Lebis are focusing their attention on you, whereas Lebis himself is focusing his attention on the crowd behind you. Is that the extent of what you were to say?
That's about all. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can do is present it and character witness, and basically that. I believe that Riot is attempting to change her ways from when she was last here in this town.
Kelian, on a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of how much risk you're willing to accept, how close are you to the temple on this day? 10 being right in the crowd, and 1 being on the lowest layer of the abyss with Mahogany.
6.5.
6.5. Okay, roll 1.5. Go ahead and make a stealth check. This one's with dexterity.
Okay.
Oh.
16.
16? Okay. Lois speaks after Ciclon does. And the first words out of her mouth are, the identity of the actual murderer is known, and he has chosen not to appear before this esteemed court. And she looks a little uneasy, like she's definitely not in her element here. And she says that whatever else you may think of the accused, however tainted you feel her, she does little finger quotes, demonic blood may have made her, it would be unjust and unlawful to hold her accountable for any of the crimes perpetrated by this third party. She says that at this time she does not feel at liberty to reveal his information, but that only minor divinations would have to be used in order to discern it. And she motions towards Riot, says the identity is in her head, feel free to take it, and waits for a moment. And for a moment, Riot, all 4 of the female Lamassu turn their gaze towards you. Make 4 wisdom saving throws.
Okay. What's the DC here? Oh, it's not gonna matter.
It's really, really high.
I'm looking at the lowest I've got here is like a 9.
A 9. And you feel for a moment all 4 of them probing around in your head, and they pluck Mahogany's name from your mind. Immediately after this, Lebis speaks out and says, "Then let it be decreed. All true citizens, men and women, of Heart's faith and of the mountain, are hereby tasked to bring this murderer to justice. On your travels to Sigil, be they for business, trade, or pleasure, you are charged hereby to bring him to me in chains." Mahogany, write down a flaw. Your new flaw is, Mount Celestia seeks to bring me to justice.
Alright. If everything goes well, or poorly, I'm gonna cash that in today.
How many flaws are you up to now? You've got like 7, don't you?
You said your new flaw. Oh, well, let me add this.
No, you add this to the flaw you already have.
Which is, I don't think I'm doing this right.
No, this doesn't replace your existing flaw. You just now have 2 flaws. Like, let me add that to your flaw sheet here.
Well,
And that's Mount Celestia, not Princess Celestia. So your punishment's not going to be like no lollipops for a year. Lois then confirms everything that Ciclon has said, without acknowledging whether or not she agrees that her name is literally Mud. And she says that Riot's role in the situation involves another party yet to be caught. A thief. And she names Kelian, and she names what it is that he was sent to steal. And says that, again, holding Riot accountable for his misdeeds would be unjust and unlawful. To which Levis makes the same proclamation about Kelian. So Kelian, go ahead and take that same flaw.
That's a cool flaw. I love that flaw.
Yeah. This
It's an
Aasimar
especially
is
great flaw when you're standing in Mount Celestia.
Yeah, that's great.
Repeat it one more time. I want to write it down perfectly.
Mount Celestia seeks to bring me to justice.
Done.
Does Kelian take any action from his vantage point where he thinks he's hidden?
No, not right now.
At this point, Lebis says he's ready to render his verdict. That the two criminals named by Lois Vesterhoff having been spoken truthfully by an agent of the Fraternity of Order, that he shall not hold Riot, or not hold Calivia accountable for their crimes. However, her part in the deception cannot be overlooked. She says that Riot, or Calivia, will set aside all wealth, all claims to land, nobility, and divinity, leave the gates of Heart's Faith as a pauper, and walk Mount Celestia on a pilgrimage of contrition. So it is decreed. Right, your Trident is not at all happy about this.
No. I'm not really happy about it either.
Roll a wisdom check at advantage.
Okay. That's good. I'd say a 14.
Okay. Your attunement to the Trident will be broken after a long enough time if you're apart from it.
Right.
The Trident is... its goal at this point is to find its way back to your hands. And you have a very strong, overwhelming anger at Kelian for putting you in this position. As far as the Trident is concerned, it's his fault. However, he also has the skills to retrieve everything that's taken from you.
Okay.
I hate you, and yet I need you.
It's kind of the motto of this party, isn't it?
But with the 5 Lamassu on the steps in front of you, and the several more circling the air, and the uncountable number of armed, lawful good people in the crowd, the Trident's desire to fight its way out is not practical.
Right.
So you get to take an action now, and I'll decide if that action is too far out of the purview of what the Trident wants for you.
Can I ask a couple of questions before I take the action?
Of me or of
Of you.
Lamassu? Of me?
Yeah.
I can't promise I'll answer them, but sure.
No, these are like observational questions.
Okay.
How many Lamassu?
Well,
First, where am I?
where's the temple where this king?
You're right outside of the temple door. There's a great staircase that leads down to where the crowd is. You're at the top of the stairs. Lebus is standing at the bottom, and on the stairs in between the two of you, facing out towards the crowd, are his harem, laying on the steps. Typically, these kind of cases would be heard inside the temple, where he has a giant throne to sit upon. But the nature of this particular case is such that...
Public trial was very necessary.
They are appealing to formalities that they haven't for probably over a century. And then you see several more Lamassu in the air circling you. These would be the bog standard guards that you've had pleasant conversations with in the past.
Right. So, and where is that? Can you point that out on the map?
I don't know exactly where actually, I think I do know exactly where the temple is. I do believe that the temple is B.
Okay.
Right here.
All right. I have a plan, and it's probably pretty bad.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I can cast this or not. Let me look up a spell real quick.
Okay.
I think you could take him.
Oh no, I'm not going to try to take him. Well, here's my last question.
Yep.
Do I have a guess as to how fast do these Lamassu move?
Very swiftly indeed. They've shown you that they can fly faster than you can run.
Okay, so there's no chance I could outrun them.
Very little chance, yes.
Okay.
The advantage that you would have is that they're much larger than you. So, with a lot of luck, you might be able to plot a course through alleyways they can't land in. But then the difficulty is the ways out of town are either the gates or the docks.
Yeah.
Which are both open spaces.
I would be... So what I was thinking, and I'm not committed to this yet, but this is what I was thinking. Huh? Yeah, no cipher bonus, right? Is to cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself, which would give all of them disadvantage on whatever they're doing.
Yep.
And just make a break for it. But it's sounding like that's not really feasible.
You don't have any... You're not bound in chains. You don't have any manacles. But... Make a Wiz 10 real quick.
Okay.
If you were still chaotic, I'd make you make this a disadvantage, I think.
Right. 14.
The other thing to consider is that especially Lois and El Ciclon have apparently put a lot of work into this, and if you did manage to escape, they certainly wouldn't.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so they want me to surrender what? Everything I own?
Everything but the clothes on your back. You are to leave out the North Gates as a pauper and begin your pilgrimage of contrition.
Okay, one last question for you, and this doesn't really relate to the current situation, but you asked me what kind of statue of Aasimar I wanted in the temple, and we talked about how it's in a coral. It would have to be some kind of magical effect laid on it so that they could actually work with the coral. It sounded like this was a conversation I had with some craftsmen. Probably. You never quoted me a price, but it seems reasonable that I would have already paid it.
El Ciclon.
Hey.
Make a charisma check.
Charisma is...
Oh, you can make this at advantage, by the way.
Plus 2, okay. Come on, die. Work with me here. 19.
19, okay. Price for a statue is like we're talking. If you could get your hands on the materials, which haven't been secured yet.
Right.
But here's what we'll say happened.
Okay.
It's going to be about 1,200 gold, of which El Ciclon can get you 40% discount working through a craftsman in the Godsmen who is particularly interested in working with this material. Well, so we can say that money, if you have it, has been set aside in a trust for that purpose.
Okay, and I've got enough. That sounds like 800?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I give them the rest of my gold plus my stuff, and I'm paying real careful attention as to where they're taking it.
As you start laying it down, some of the human priests of Mitra come forward and begin wrapping it up in a large bundle. Mm-hmm. And you're told, as they're doing it, well, do you ask anything of them? I'll ask that first.
I say, I know that you don't recognize my priesthood, but those artifacts are the property of a lawful god, and you best take good care of them.
They tell you that they will be held here at the temple and assessed to see how much of this wealth can be used for the good of the citizenry of Heart's Faith and the other towns along the Silver Sea. Any artifact deemed too dangerous to be held with will be turned over to, in good time, to the Plains Militant for safekeeping. Because they do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And where do you go from there? As you descend the stairs and go through the crowd.
Do I know Kelian is here?
You know he's in town, but you don't know exactly where he is. He rolled pretty decent on his stealth roll.
Yeah, then I can't message him. I'm gonna go to the gates over here.
To the docks?
Yeah.
That's the wrong direction. They want you to walk north through the gates.
Mm-hmm.
So you're attempting to turn south?
Are they, like, forcing that on me?
The Lamassu do land in your path.
Mm-hmm.
But as you make your way to the crowd, before you make that decision, coming down to the Ascension here, people in the crowds... Holy shit.
Dog barks at you.
I just had a heart attack. Because it didn't sound like a bark at first. It sounded like a scream.
It's a hounder.
Like...
Oh, God.
And now
God.
beeping.
No.
What is happening here? Destil.
Air horn.
Okay, so we will...
Time out, guys.
This sounds like a Destil thing.
Can I not? Oh, my mute button is grayed out. In Mumble. Oh, no.
No,
I
mine
don't-
too.
There, local mute, whatever that means. Sorry about that. We will flog Destil when he gets back.
Yeah.
As you're walking through the crowd down to the Ascension, before you have the choice to turn north or south, people in the crowd are giving you gifts. Provisions, bread, warm cloak, heavy boots. One of them bestows upon you a very hardy walking cane. Everybody is proud of you as you're coming down to the Ascension. You get the sense that some people even envy you, having lived on this pilgrimage. And by the time you get to the road, you are holding more than you can carry. You've got salted meats, bottles of clear water, small sacks of silver. Mm-hmm. Gifts being bestowed upon you by the crowd. Everybody is extremely impressed and satisfied.
Hang on. Did they take my guitar too?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so angry.
They took all the everything.
Okay.
And they probably judged the guitar as worthless, so...
Alright, I'm gonna get past the gates.
Okay.
Well, no, that's right, they took everything. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get past the gates, I'm gonna try and cast Sending.
Okay, to who?
To Kelian.
And does that require material components?
Let me look that up.
It does. Because remember, the first thing that was sending was a
Yep, it sure does. A short piece of fine copper wire, which I don't have anymore. Cool.
Can you cast Sending as a cleric?
It would need the same component either way.
They took my holy symbols away too. They required me to like cast off all signs of my office.
Kelian and Ciclon.
Hmm.
Well, I'll start with Kelian. You've watched this march as Riot leaves town. What is your next move? And you see the people taking the bundles of her gear back into the Temple of Mitra.
What does the crowd look like at this point?
After Riot heads towards the gate, some number of them follow her to wish her well on her pilgrimage. Others are dispersing to go back to their day-to-day lives now that the excitement is over.
Kelian will slink back into the shadows, but keep an eye on the temple.
Lebis and his harem eventually go back into the temple as well. Where's Ciclon going immediately following this? Lois is heading back towards the Gretchen's place.
Ciclon is gonna head off in the direction where Riot's going.
Are you going to leave the gates following her?
Yeah.
Okay. So you catch up with her soon after leaving the gates, and she's going through all these gifts that have been bestowed upon her, frantically looking for a bit of copper wire.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I had something to give you.
Hey, here's what you can give. You can go and give our thief a message to steal my shit back.
I think he might already be on it. He came to me and said that he is... I think he's kind of suicidal in his intent to make things right, so...
Hey, that works out for me.
I mean, he's not suicidal, but okay.
Well, you did explain the fact that you were going to...
And I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah.
And Right's like counting on the fingers, like, I can cast this. Okay, this works. This will work. This will work. What do I got? What do I got? What is all the stuff I got?
All right. Well, what do you want me to do? Do you want to? What are you going to do now?
What I want you to do is find me a way out of here. Because I'm not going on a pilgrimage. I'm going back to Sigil.
Oh, no need to ask. All you'd have to do is walk up the coast, find a little fishing village, ask somebody to take you to the portal.
Oh, okay.
It'd be about that easy.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna babysit you on your pilgrimage. They're just gonna assume that you do it and trust that you do it.
Then Riot dumps all this shit that they gave her. I don't need any of this. I can create my own food and water.
You can't.
No, I can't. It's only verbal and somatic. It's one of the spells I got left.
It's just Riot going.
Well, you can eat that.
Ciclon
Middle finger.
points
at some
food and water appears in the sky.
points at some salted pork. Are you gonna eat any of that then?
No.
Okay then.
And it tastes very lawful. So, getting a message back to Kelian, is that the next thing that happens?
So yeah. What do you want me to tell Kelian?
Tell Kelian he better not show his face in Sigil again without my shit.
Fair enough. Will do.
And Riot walks off around the gate. She's making her way back to the Silver Sea.
Serenity. Lois comes back to the Gretchen's place. Is Serenity even with us?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're not beeping anymore. That's a good sign. Lois comes back after the thing at the temple. And she's fishing around, as she's giving you the play-by-play of how everything went down. She's fishing through her stuff, and she brings out a scroll, a blue scroll. And she says, everything went about as well as expected. Kelian had better not get caught, ever.
Mahogany had better not get caught, ever.
Would the members of Mount Celestia put bounty hunters on either of them?
It wouldn't work that way. You wouldn't have to. In Sigil, you would pay somebody to find someone for you. In Mount Celestia, every citizen feels honor-bound to do the work anyway. So, the two of them will have to watch their backs in Sigil, probably for the rest of their natural lives. Anytime they see an Archon or an Aasimar on their trail, they should lose them. And she holds this blue scroll out. And she says, I took the liberty, while I was in Sigil, of finding you, in the Governor's archives, a blueprint of the layout of the Temple of Mitra in Heart's Faith. And she's holding it out to you.
Serenity takes it and nods.
And as soon as you put your hands on it, she clenches down on her end really, really hard. And she looks you in the eyes, and she says, "Tell Mahogany and all of your friends to forget my name."
Serenity nods.
She lets go.
Like, do you know Riot has a hit song about you?
She lets go of the scroll and says, "What you choose to do with that is up to you. I'll find my own way back to Sigil. Don't come with me." And then she begins gathering her things up.
Which way did they go when they escorted Riot out?
Out the northern gates.
All right, and Serenity will make her way out the northern gates.
Okay. And you catch Ciclon coming back in after speaking with Riot.
Is there anyone around?
There is, because people are going about their day-to-day tasks, but it would be easy to just have an aside, because in Heart's Faith, nobody's going to eavesdrop on purpose.
Yeah, I'll just motion for him to step over into an alleyway.
Yeah.
And she'll reach into her cloak, pull out a blue scroll, and hand it to you, and just whisper, "Get that to Kelian," and continue on her way.
Okay.
Ciclon pockets the scroll and just realize, when did I become everybody's gopher?
What is going on?
Nothing. Listen, you all like to stack dice, and this is what I can do. Okay.
All right.
Oh, I was figuring like you were going to use that giant D20 from before to be like the ultimate fateful roll.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to counter deception check with that.
Yeah.
Kelian, do you take any effort to make contact with your friends after the trial?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you very easily then manage to pull Ciclon aside without getting spotted.
All right, from Riot. You better not show your face in Sigil without her shit again. So I think she might be serious about kicking you out of whatever arrangement she's found for you. And then Ciclon takes out the blue scroll, puts it in, hands it to him, and says, "That might help you get back into Sigil without Riot wanting to kill you."
And it's an ancient floor plan. It's an ancient blueprint from when where temples of Mitra are constructed in various places on the plains. And much of it is taken up with living quarters for Lamassu priests. But just having this item and studying it for a little while will give you advantage on anything you do stealthily to get in and steal from this temple.
Kelian gives Ciclon a hurt look. Like, really? I was going to fucking die for her. What the fuck?
Well,
You haven't done
Never
it yet.
do anything for anyone ever.
well, you know,
Clearly.
from what it looks like, if I know you, then you may still die. But good luck.
So, do Ciclon and Serenity hang out in Heart's Faith after this?
No.
No.
Ciclon is gone.
No.
So the three of you are making your way back to Sigil at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelian,
Yeah.
what's your next move?
Sounds like I need to do some item recovery.
You've already been casing the temple for the past few days. You know the guard patterns. You know that the place is never locked. It's not ever guarded as such. There's always eyes on it, but they don't really have the place on lockdown to prevent theft. Not in Heart's Faith. So you have a lot of advantages going for you. And now you know what the inside of it probably looks like. This is a very old plan.
Okay.
This is a solo sneaking mission.
Yeah, but it's my goal. I will get Riot stuff back or die trying, I suppose.
Okay. Are you ready to make the most important stealth check of your Flumphscape career?
Let me check that I have the appropriate belief points. Like, okay.
Do you want me to take one of these D20s and grow it for you?
No, it's alright.
Do it.
I can make them really small, too. All right, so go ahead and make a stealth check. Add advantage. This is to get inside the temple without being seen.
28.
28?
Yeah.
Easy enough. Inside the temple, you sneak in, and inside it's mostly human acolytes and priests. You manage to get to one of the lower levels where the blueprint you've been given indicates any wealth being held in the temple. On Mount Celestia, this is all money that is just in transit to going out to do charitable works. Most of the gold would be melted down. So, of Riot's gear that she placed, let me actually open up Riot's character sheet here so I know what's in this room.
I haven't taken anything off my sheet yet. If Kelian fails, then I'll start taking
Yeah,
stuff.
don't take anything off yet. We'll see how bad Kelian messes this up. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would this be if Kelian messes this up?
It would be 10.
It would be 10?
It would be 10.
Riot's already lost all her shit once.
Riot's got a lot of ways to mess Kelian up, even without material components.
It's real easy to get cleric material components.
How much gold was Riot carrying? Gold coins? Or gold objects?
She had the 3 gold pieces, and she had that golden bracelet with
Okay.
Osman and Zorbo's symbols.
All of Riot's goods, except for the gold coins and the gold bracelet, are together, carefully organized in a lower storage room of the temple.
Cool.
Again, no locked doors in the way. All you have to do is dodge the eyes of the acolytes as you move, and it's easy enough. So in this room, I mean, you've got... Riot had way too much on her sheet that is comfortable for Kelian to carry. Like, there's no way you could be stealthy holding her entire pack and all her weaponry and the guitar and the trident and everything else. So,
Alright.
what is Kelian prioritizing?
Trident, guitar. Can I get a link to Riot's character sheet? See what's in her inventory.
I will post it in the Twitch chat.
But in terms of priority, it's going to be Trident and then guitar.
There, I just totally invaded Nick's privacy and posted a link to Riot's character sheet in the Twitch chat. I think there's already a link. Yeah, there's already a link to all the sheets anyway.
Yeah, it's already in your blog, right?
That's how I look things up whenever I'm trying to double check to make sure you people are using your stuff correctly.
He's got the blog open.
So everything could carefully, most of it except for the guitar and the trident and the sword probably, could easily fit into Riot's own pack and be carried, but now you're carrying 2 packs.
Okay. Yeah, going with the trident, going with the guitar, going with the disguise kit, because worst comes to worst, I can use that.
Okay.
Um,
Is Kelian proficient with a disguise kit?
yes,
Okay.
actually he is.
Very
Why don't
good.
you have one?
Yeah, I gotta get one when I get back.
You could just keep Riot's and be like, sorry, I didn't find yours.
Riot very rarely uses hers anyway. She's got disguise self.
He gets a really anyway. Yeah, disguise kit. Fuck the bedroll. Rope sounds handy. Magic items.
I can't hear you.
The golden bracelet's gone, right?
Yeah, the bracelet's not there, and she had 3 gold pieces also not there.
What about armor? She left with that, right?
Yeah,
was-
that's a good question. Did they take literally the clothes off my back?
They took you were wearing the sharkskin leather, they took that, and they took the vestments.
Am I naked?
Well, they would have provided you with
Oh, okay.
They gave
with
the
just a rough
sackcloth.
spun robe.
So basically,
All right,
I'm
you know what? Fuck it, I'm naked.
Wow.
When Riot rejoins your party, she's wearing the prisoner garb.
Yeah, exactly.
basically prioritizing magic items and weapons,
Okay.
and then the disguise kit, and then the rope.
Okay. Now, so leaving behind... I mean, she has stuff in the stash. That's not actually things that were being carried. Okay.
Right.
So, like this rusty holy symbol, the climbing pythons.
I have the rusted holy symbol.
That's on her list. Sounds like you guys
on
need to
my
fight
list,
it out.
Alright, whatever.
Okay, so yeah, just Kelian, take 3 minutes, make a quick list of everything that you're going to grab out of this room.
Okay.
Mahogany. After another 2 days pass. I'm sorry, another 4 days pass. So we're now on the 17th. One by one, your companions make their way back to Sigil. Riot and Ciclon and Serenity. Kelian is not back yet. His fate is, at this particular moment in time, undetermined.
Riot asked if she could borrow some clothes.
Mahogany gives her the nicest clothes she has. He's like, I'm so sorry.
So what is that scene like when the four of you managed to get back together, minus Kelian?
Ciclon says, you should probably never go anywhere near Mount Celestia, and probably
You
keep an eye...
think?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have gone there in the first place. I shouldn't have gone there when we were going to order a Plains Militant. I definitely shouldn't have gone there when we were helping Kelian steal shit.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
That's...
So I have a message from Lois.
Yeah?
She says to forget her name and to watch your back for Archons and Tiefling and Aasimar.
Oh. Does that mean she didn't want me to sing the song?
I
mean,
think
she didn't
you should
specifically
keep
say
singing
I'm
the
sure
song.
she
sing the
was
song.
joking, Riot.
I think you should continue to sing the song. It's actually really good. I like it.
You know what a jokester
And you
Lois
know how much I don't like your music, right, Riot? I think you should
And Riot
keep
looked
singing
hurt
it.
says you don't?
No, but I like that song. Like, that song's the first one of yours I've really liked.
I'm sure he's joking. You know what a jokester Ciclon is.
Well,
Where are we supposed to meet Kelian?
that's up to him.
Where is he? Does anyone have some copper wire?
Ciclon checks his pocket. I didn't have it when I saw you in sackcloth outside Heart's Faith.
I've got a copper coin.
God damn it.
You could, like, shave a bit off. Does that count?
I know a few machinists in the foundry. Maybe I can get some for you.
Getting copper wire is trivial in Sigil. I mean, we don't need to roleplay that out.
Mahogany walks outside and nicks some off of a nearby lamppost.
Yeah,
So
that
got
happens. That's fine.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until the next morning to contact Kelian, because I don't want to get in the way of his vitally important task of getting my shit back.
Well, whatever thing Kelian's about to do actually happened like a day and a half ago, while you guys
This
were
is
in
true.
transit.
So I'll
So-
cast a spell.
It
Yeah,
may-
cast sending.
So now let's find out whether sending connects to a dead man or not. Kelian, do you have your lists?
Yeah. Guitar,
Okay.
trident, disguise kit, sharkskin's leather, priestly robes, rope, scroll case from wreck.
Kelian.
Second question.
Can you tell me what you didn't get so I can just wipe that off my sheet now?
Well, don't wipe anything just yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Second question, because that's going to increase your encumbrance. Is there anything on your sheet that you leave behind to lighten the load as you escape? Because carrying all that stuff plus all your stuff is going to make it more difficult to escape. To get out unseen and unheard.
Really? Because I just unloaded a lot of stuff in the rat hole. Like, my only
It's time to unload more.
my
Well,
really only heavy thing right now is the crossbow.
Let's see what you're carrying here. Because, I mean, you still got your backpack
Right.
that has some bracers and a burglar's kit. Scroll, thieves' tools, the magic mug. You've got the golden bracelet and the rusty trident on your character sheet.
Yeah, that's
Have
why
you
I'm
been-
confused.
Have you been robbing Riot?
Well, yes, but
Make a whiz 10
you
check.
know what? You know what? He did have the golden bracelet. I just remembered it because I gave him those as like payment for something. I
Okay.
didn't have those. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Make a whiz 10, Kelian.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing you could do to lighten the load is put on the armor investments. Leave your armor clothing behind. And then pack, I mean, because you've got like a scroll and the thieves' tools, and that's not very...
Right.
Leave your backpack behind and
Well,
put...
let me tell you what I was going to do.
Okay.
Well, no, never mind. Yeah, I will leave my armor then and don the armor. Take that.
Okay. The stuff in the kip here...
Which I'm sure I'm never getting back at this point, but...
You've also got a bunch of gems from the shipwreck that are going to take up a lot of space. How many of those are you leaving?
All the gems are in the rat hole.
In the rat hole. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're not. I didn't put them in the rat hole. Oh. Fuck.
Yeah, they're not in the rat hole. As far as I know, they're in your backpack. I'm looking at your sheet here.
Yeah. Fuck, I gotta leave the gems behind. Yeah, right.
Do
you dump the gems?
Like, I'm assuming I have to, right?
I mean, they're bulky, because you got 64 of them. Yeah, that's a lot of...
It's a lot.
A lot of precious metal.
But I'll leave them behind, sure.
Okay.
If it helps lighten the load.
What about the golden bracelet and your crossbow? The crossbow is by far the heaviest thing you're carrying.
Also, it jumps up on you all the time anywhere.
Yeah, it does.
Here's the thing, though. None of us expect him to come back, and he's got a lot of valuable shit with him. You could just ghost.
Well, what I was going to say is that I do have a second crossbow.
Yeah.
So...
Are you carrying both of them, or do you have one
No.
in your kip?
One would be in... Where the hell would the
Oh,
other
I see
one
it
be?
now. It's in your kip. It's second crossbow. So this would be in your hotel back in Sigil.
Yeah. Which would mean then it's probably in the rat hole, but I didn't transfer it to the rat hole.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I'll leave the crossbow behind.
So the next thing that happens...
Who attacks me?
Oh, it's going to be good. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Roll 40-10.
Oh shit! He's about to fucking attune to that piece of shit.
Oh, not attuned to it. He's just picking it up, and he's chaotic neutral, which is the exact opposite alignment of the trident.
Well, you can't be opposite from neutral.
Yeah, lawful neutral and chaotic neutral are total opposites.
Really? Even if I like... never mind, I don't care. Whatever. I expected Kelian to die this session, so...
It was almost a 10 up there.
Looks like 2 death type damage.
That's
5, 8,
you take more
18.
damage than that peeing.
So how much was that?
18.
18 points of psychic damage as you take up this trident. And it just discharges anger and fear into you. And you place a bunch of your shit on the ground. You quickly change clothes. Now you can make a stealth check at advantage to get out.
Alright, that's what I was looking for.
Uh-oh.
Nat 20.
Uh-oh.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
Uh-oh.
Nat 20.
My man dances out of the temple.
Flipping the double one finger salute to the
Pops
entire
back,
way.
gets the gems.
Make your way. I mean, the funny thing is, the thing he stole, the fire sack, is more valuable than everything he left behind by far. So you guys will make out. And you manage to slip out the gates with a crowd of merchants. You're no longer immediately recognizable because you have Riot's disguise kit and you're wearing vestments.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be one of the things I do, is like immediately get to work on the disguise kit when it's safe to do so.
So Riot, what does your sending say?
Where are you and why aren't you back yet?
And Kelian, you received this message moments after you returned to Sigil from Excelsior after the long, tiresome journey of carrying all of her shit back. And Mrs. Fluffy Bottom's just trotting along next to you.
I just returned to Sigil. I have your stupid fork and your stupid shit. Come get them.
Does he include where he is in the reply? Because otherwise, I don't know where to go to come get him.
It would probably be the rat hole.
Okay. Right trumps off the rat hole.
So let's take our quick Snaglins break here.
Okay.
And when we reconvene, we'll go ahead and take care of this scene in the rat hole, and then anything else we want to take care of before the City of Brass.
Okay.
Let's reconvene in about 15 minutes, so I'll see you guys at 5:03.
Right.
Sounds legit.
I'm a little disappointed that Kelian is not dead right now. I'm not going to lie. I was setting things up that he would have a glorious death,